By simply watching this show, I thought I was going to go to jail. When in fact, every single character in Miss Caretaker's Sunohara house probably should be there. Before we get into this video, guys, I'd like to introduce myself. I am Gorlok, and I do anime. And that means every anime that I get a hold of will be reviewed eventually. And I watch all anime, and that includes this one, Miss Caretaker of Sunohara. Oh, it's gonna be a short video because there's not much to say but bad things about this show. Let's start out with the main story. Our character Aki moves to a new city because of the way he was treated at his previous school. The kid was very small and had female-like features, and that got him picked on, so he moved to the city, similar to how our last anime review of Lookism was. This one's a little bit different because instead of the character being fat, the character was being picked on for being small and girl-like for his age. The kid is 13 years old, and the first episode starts out with him looking around, trying to navigate himself to where he needs to be, which is the Sunohara house. When we see a few characters walk by, that initializes foreshadowing right off the bat. They comment on how she is so cute, and then go on with their days. Now, these are high schoolers, so it's not too big of a deal, but we kind of get weird vibes off of them right off the bat. But we're not going to worry about them because they don't matter as of right now, because we have to focus on little Aki and what he's up to in his everyday life. Now, Aki arrives at this house, and he's greeted by Miss Caretaker, which kind of throws him off because he wasn't expecting this. She shows him a lot of affection, thinking that he is a woman, and inevitably takes him to the bathhouse because he's wet, so she doesn't want him to get a cold. You know how those Japanese be. They're very delicate, so you need to take care of them as soon as a drop of rain gets on them. So now we're already thrown into an awkward scene with this cute animation and this ecchi type show. As they are taking their baths, Aki doesn't know how to break it to this woman that he is a guy instead of a girl, and inevitably builds up the courage to kind of tell her before things get a little too spicy in the bathroom. But turns out she doesn't give a shit, and inevitably washes his back, and then he passes out or something, and she changes his clothes and I guess sees everything. And I guess he's pretty well endowed, so it's totally fine to her in that department because, oh yeah, Miss Caretaker is the main love interest in this show. But then, as other characters arrive, it turns out that she is like that with every new guest that comes to the Sunohara house. And that's where the three other characters who live at the house come in. Now, again, we'll get to them in the later segments of the show, but I will say right off of the bat that the show is setting up to be something that I have already seen before, and it's been done better. Luckily, I was a little under the influence, aka drunk, to where I could try and enjoy it a little bit more, and I still didn't enjoy it that much. Now, don't judge me, guys, okay? A few drinks ain't gonna kill nobody, alright? I work out, so I deserve a little bit of drinking every once in a while. That sake just hit just right. I ain't gonna get drunk like the guy from Lookism, though. I already forgot his name. But as the show goes along, it's this character, Aki, who gets involved with a bunch of weird situations that really just make me uncomfortable and inevitably just make me feel dirty at the end of it all. Miss Caretaker, who we don't know her age, but she's possibly 25 to 30 years old, and she has probably a J cup for a chest. She gives in to this kid and kind of just does things to this kid that probably shouldn't be done to a 13-year-old boy. They're setting up a romance between a woman and a 13-year-old boy, guys. I'm glad that not a lot of shows have followed afterwards, but watching this kind of reminded me of another show where a little kid gets involved with a bunch of college girls, and I'm gonna put that show right here just in case. It's a better alternative, but overall, still not that good. And, you know, when you're watching a show like this and it doesn't have that good of a premise at all, usually the art is the one thing that kind of brings it up, but the art is just as terrible in those ecchi moments because outside of that, it's all cutesy and lovey-dovey type of stuff. But within the ecchi stuff, it's kind of gross. Even my favorite character falls prey to this ecchi art that just makes me want to throw up. Either way, that's about all I have to say about the premise of the show. So let's get into the characters. Starting off with Aki, our main character, who is 13. This kid kind of gets the wrong idea of Miss Caretaker and thinks that she is treating him special because she likes him or something like that, even though the other girls blatantly state that they got the same treatment the first time they got to the house, and that it'll probably wear away after a year or a new guest arrives. But he's a boy, so this is a lot different. And Aki doesn't really know what to do in these situations. He's a typical anime protagonist where he's very oblivious, but at the same time, he has feelings for some of the characters in this show. He just doesn't really know how to show it because he's a little child. A literal child. Moving on, we meet the 3 other characters who live in the house, which are Aki's age. Very nice. Maybe there'll be a love interest to him. But no, not really. There's only one. And you know what? She doesn't get the time of day from Aki. Only in 2 or 3 episodes do we see any sort of connection between these 2 characters. The first character being Yuzu. Yuzu is very similar to Aki in the childish way that she is. She's also the student council president at her school, so she kind of has a little bit more authority, but at the same time, she still acts very childish. She also wears a little chick on her head to make her seem taller, but it doesn't really work out for her, and it's just kind of annoying throughout the entire show. I like her better when she's not wearing the chick, but usually when that's going on, she's not wearing much of anything. Moving on, we then have Yuri, who is just as weird as any of the other characters in the show, but she does like creating clothes and photography, which are her only attributes. But oh wait, they gotta make that weird as well, because she likes to dress up Aki, and also her photography is fucking weird. She literally takes pictures of the other characters without knowing, and then sells some of those pictures to other characters within the show. And the one character we know of that gets these pictures is personally my favorite of the 3, and it makes me sad that she is a creep like the others. Her name is Yamanashi. Now Yamanashi, again, is my favorite character out of these 3, okay? Remember that. Only out of these 3 is she my favorite character. She doesn't get as much screen time, and she also has a weird thing for Yuzu. I don't know what it is, but she really is just obsessed with her, and she likes to have her on top of her shoulders and stuff. She feels comfortable like that, and if she doesn't have enough of that, she goes bonkers. So that's all of those characters. I'm not even gonna give any of these guys a grade, by the way, and also they don't even have ages, at least from what I know, after research with the Gragnar, who is the guy who picked this show in the first place because he wanted a cute slice of life show that we didn't have to really think too much about. It's a problem, guys. He's got a problem, but it's totally fine because I gotta watch all the animes anyway. So, whatever. Just check it off my list and be done with it. Then we get to know Miss Caretaker, and she is a blatant creep, aka a pedophile who should be in jail. She has this weird thing with Aki where she's kind of teasing him all throughout the show and suggesting that she does have feelings for him, but you know what? He doesn't freaking know. She doesn't freaking know, but either way, she should be behind bars. And as we go along, we finally meet the high schoolers that were in the show earlier, the first of them and the best of them being Nana. Now, Nana personally is my favorite character in all of this show, but that's only because she resembles a character from a manga that I'm reading called Gal Gohan, alright? She's a Garu. She dresses very sussy, and I don't know how I feel about it, but she's actually kind of chill with Aki and plays video games all the time. And also, she's only in like 3 episodes and then she's kind of in and out. It's just, she has to go back to high school and it's somewhere totally different. See ya! There's 3 episodes that are a little bit better than the others and they're still not that good. She is more like a tamer version of Miss Caretaker in the way that she teases him, but not too much. But she also says blatantly that she kind of has a thing for him. Very weird. I don't know how I feel about it, but still, not saying much, she is my favorite character. And then Nana has 2 friends who also should probably be in jail in the form of Mei and Meiko, because they like little boys. They think they're cute, they take pictures of them, and they're just very weird. I don't like them at all, and the things they say make me want to gouge my ears out. I don't even know if that's possible. Maybe my eardrums, I don't know. Either way, Aki just kind of goes along with it because he's got the brains of a cardboard box. And then the only character that's actually normal in this show is Yatsuho, and she is just kind of around at times, and she also has a crazy drinking problem and likes to hang out with Miss Caretaker because I guess they're friends and they go way back or something like that. Either way, she should probably stay away from her because she might get wrapped up in what she's got. Whatever, let's move on to the art because there's gotta be something good in this show, right? No, not really. The art is cute at times, but it likes to force fan service on us, and it doesn't really work at all because it's just disgusting. Nana, like I said before, even has a gross art scene where she's doing yoga or something, or a workout, and it's just like, what the fuck's going on? It's like churning butter, but the butter is just a bunch of nails. Outside of that, everything else is gross. And there's this scene where this girl is straight up naked. They just put blue paint over her to make her look like she's wearing pants. I don't understand it, guys. It's got a 6 on Mal, and I just don't know how. I didn't mean to rhyme. Either way. The art, I will give a 5. That is the most I can give it. I think it can be cute at times. The eyes are fine. But other than that, it's just not good, and the fan service is terrible. Again, you can make a show a little bit better if the fan service looks good and the premise is trash, or at least the fan service has a little bit better animation than the rest of the show. I'm not a pervert, guys. Overall, this is a nothing show. If you actually watch it for enjoyment, I don't know what's wrong with you guys. Nobody can really place themselves in this kid's shoes because it's a child who is getting lusted over by a bunch of girls. Now, I can understand if you're 13 and you're watching this, but you shouldn't be watching this if you're 13 because it's just gross. My mom definitely wouldn't let me watch it when I was 13, but now I'm a grown man and I'm watching sicko anime like this. Kill me. Please help me. It's just not good, guys. I don't recommend it, and this video is all just to tell you it's just a red flag altogether. I watched it so you don't have to, and that's what I gotta say. And I officially give it a 3 out of 10. There is nothing to like about this show, and whenever it does good, other shows have done 10 times better. You've been warned. See you guys next time. Go and watch some freaking anime. Not this one, though. I'm upset.
So she might be a little older than we thought. Okay, she sounded like it, but this is a kid right here. You know how tall this kid is? He's 4'6".
Oh, my anime list.
What the hell is this? This isn't my anime list. No!